in a past forgotten by the stars. A world disintegrated in silence. There was no warning, no survivors, only fragments spinning eternally in the void, like echoes of a silent scream. Eleon-3, a planet that once radiated a unique and mysterious energy, was wiped out in the blink of an eye. No one truly knows what happened or why. The records were erased, and the accounts of those who might have witnessed the end are lost in the currents of space, like scattered dust. Yet, the impact of this destruction was deeper than any cataclysm ever recorded across distant galaxies. All that remained were the particles of what was once a thriving civilization. The emptiness that followed was not just a physical absence, but an absence of meaning, a denial of what could have been a golden age of progress and wisdom. And still, among the cosmic ruins, something remained. Something that not only could reveal the mystery of Eleon-3's end, but also alter the fate of the entire galaxy. They called it Eleon-3, a planet pulsing with life, culture, and technology beyond human comprehension. Today, it's nothing but cosmic dust, but something remained, something that could alter the fate of the entire galaxy. Eleon-3 was more than just a floating rock in space. It was a symbol of ambition, of a civilization that stretched beyond the stars and possessed technology that defied even the most creative imaginations. Its floating cities hovered like mirages. Its orbital libraries were repositories of ancient knowledge that continued to evolve, and its crystal mountains were vast temples of pure energy. What remained of it now? Only memory, and an energy that began to dissipate into the depths of the cosmos. What happened there was, in a sense, both the apex and the end of a civilization that dared to transcend known limits. And now, the only thing that remained were fragments floating in an infinitely deep void, waiting to be uncovered by those still brave enough. These fragments, contrary to what many believed, were not dead. They were, in some way, bearers of a secret that could rewrite the future of all. No one saw the force. No telescope caught its approach. It was as if the universe itself wanted to erase a mistake. In minutes, Eleon-3 was consumed by a white light that bent reality around it. Its floating cities, orbital libraries, crystal mountains, ... all obliterated. The death of Eleon-3 was an event as sudden as it was inexplicable. No probe, no telescope, or intergalactic satellite detected what was approaching. There was nothing of force so overwhelming that it could explain the end of that civilization. No one even had time to react, as if existence itself had drifted away from its purpose. What happened was something beyond understanding. A white light that wasn't just light but a pure force that warped the fabric of reality. It swallowed the floating cities, fused the libraries into nothingness, and transformed the crystal mountains into dust. Yet, amid this total destruction, one thing remained. Something, perhaps, more powerful than anyone could have predicted. Something that hid itself between the gaps of time, and now, in the shadows of tragedy, was rising once more. What was left were not just physical ruins, but a message that awaited understanding. But among the debris, sensors picked up the impossible signals. Energy emissions in ancient patterns, predating even humanity's first stellar leap. It was a whisper from the Grave One that promised either salvation or annihilation. While the destruction of Eleon-3 seemed complete, the sensors on the Nyx vessel picked up something insane. The energy waves emanating from the ruins were unlike anything ever recorded. They followed ancient patterns, so ancient they seemed to predate even humanity's first steps into the stars. The emissions were not just signals, they were a distant echo, a whisper that seemed to transcend the barriers of time. At first, the scientists thought it was merely interference, perhaps a glitch in the systems. But soon it became undeniable. These signals weren't accidental. They carried a message, one that could either be salvation for all living beings, or, perhaps, the end of everything that remained. The question was, how to interpret this whisper, and more importantly, what to do with it. Aboard the archaeological vessel Nyx, 5 souls journey toward the space graveyard. Aboard the Nyx, a vessel designed to explore the remnants of forgotten civilizations, 5 beings, distinct in their origins and motivations, were about to enter the heart of an unsolvable mystery. Dr. Cale Varn, the lead archaeologist, traveled with a more personal purpose than professional. His past was intertwined with Elianthre, not only because of his career, but due to the loss he had suffered. His wife, missing during the catastrophe, was the reason for his relentless search. Sira Then, the xenolinguist, possessed a rare ability. She could hear and decipher dead languages and forgotten scripts simply through the melody they emitted. Alongside them was Torga, a hybrid creature, half synthetic, half biological, a laboratory invention with a peculiar history. He carried with him vivid dreams and fragments of memories that didn't seem to belong to him. Ellen Kerr, a retired military strategist, brought with her a heavy load of secrets from ancient wars, marks of battles she could not forget. And lastly, but not least, was Korvax, an artificial intelligence that, in the past, had been shut down after being accused of murder. Now, reactivated by necessity, it would accompany the crew on a journey that might uncover more than they were prepared to understand. Their destination, a storm of planetary remains so unstable, no probe had ever returned. Their destination was a graveyard of stars, a storm of planetary fragments, so filled with chaotic gravitational forces that no exploration device had ever returned intact. The area was so full of extremes that even the Nyx, a robust ship, was not entirely prepared for the horrors hidden in that part of space. Each fragment floating through it seemed to carry with it a story of pain and destruction. All around them, the laws of physics no longer seemed to apply. The orbits of the planet's remains were erratic, as though they defied space-time itself. Some of these fragments glowed, as if they still possessed a life of their own, as if the energy of a dying world was still struggling to survive, while others were merely shadows of what they had once been. Even with everything they knew, the crew could not help but wonder, what else lay hidden in this abyss?